Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to day 4 of summarizing. It's me, Mr. Teets, ready to take you through our last poster of the week, in which we will be talking about summarizing. Summarizing, as we know, is a brief sentence or two that goes over the very important details or big ideas of a passage, the main idea and important details as well. So that is how we will summarize. We read each paragraph, find the big ideas, and then put them together in a summary sentence at the end. Today's passage, I'll be reading about the land of ice and snow. And let's get started. The land of ice and snow. There are 7 continents on Earth, but Antarctica looks different from the other continents. Antarctica is known as the White Continent because ice and snow cover it much of the year. Antarctica has colder temperatures and faster wind speeds than any other place on Earth. Though there is not a single tree in Antarctica, the continent is not empty. Some of the world's largest populations of sea animals make their homes near Antarctica. 9 kinds of whales and 6 kinds of seals live near or in the ocean waters around Antarctica. The seals eat squid, fish, and penguins. Killer whales eat large fish, penguins, and every type of seal. Baleen whales, including the blue and humpback, eat fish, squid, and krill, a small shrimp-like animal. Unlike other continents, countries do not own any part of Antarctica. Several countries claim parts of it, and each country has its own research station. Together they work to keep Antarctica a natural habitat. So let's get down to the business of finding our big ideas that will help us come up with our summary. And we want to do this paragraph by paragraph. So if we think of what would be the best summary for this passage, we want to look at the first paragraph here. It says there are 7 continents on Earth, but Antarctica looks different from the other continents. Antarctica is known as the White Continent because ice and snow cover it much of the year. So some of the big ideas that seem to be here is that we're talking about continents. So let's highlight continents. Okay, the one that we're talking about. We know that it is covered with ice and snow. Okay, another big idea there. We have colder temperatures, seems to be a theme as well, and faster wind speeds. We're kind of highlighting the things that set it apart from the other continents. All right, and then there are world's largest populations of sea animals. So these are some things that are big ideas that help us with the first paragraph. So let's go to the second paragraph. 9 kinds of whales and 6 kinds of seals live near or in the ocean, and then they talk about the different things that they eat. So some of the big ideas from here just talks about how these animals prey upon each other to survive. That would make these animals carnivores as opposed to animals that are herbivores that eat plants. There aren't any plants or trees here, so they have to be carnivores because they eat meat or eating the other creatures that are located in and around Antarctica. The last paragraph just talks about the fact that other countries do not own any part of Antarctica. All right? But they all have research stations there. So no one owns it, but they all are studying it and things like that. So let's look at our big ideas first of all here. All right, so let's get a notepad up. Let's do a yellow one again. So first idea is that Antarctica is the coldest and windiest continent. That's big idea number one. Big idea number two is that big populations of sea creatures live there. And our third big idea is that no nation owns it, but many researchers study there. So this covers our big ideas, as you can see. Antarctica is the coldest and windiest continent. That was covered in this first paragraph here. The next big idea was that big populations of sea creatures live there. I didn't highlight anything in the second paragraph because just talking about what they eat back and forth, that tells how the creatures survive and how they're able to live there, but that's not a big idea that I would need for my summary. My last big idea is that no nation owns it, but many countries do have their research station there. So what I want to look at now is I want to put this together into a summary. And let's see if I can't do a text box here. Let's try that one more time. Nope, that didn't work. I should have known better. So let's go back to notes. And so what I want to do is combine my big ideas, right? The first one was that Antarctica is covered in ice and snow. So I know that Antarctica is frozen. So let's put, even though it's frozen, what do we now know about Antarctica? Even though it's frozen, Antarctica has many sea creatures living there, and many researchers study there. When you think of a place that's as cold and icy as Antarctica, you might think of it just as a barren place with no people, no creatures, no trees, nothing. It can be quite the opposite, where there are a lot of sea creatures living there, and there are many researchers who go down there to study the habitat and to study the sea creatures as well. So this is our final example of how we can put together a summary using the big ideas in each paragraph of a passage in text. Thank you again for listening, fourth graders. It's been fun, and have a great rest of your day.